ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to iLeague Season 3. We are in the winner bracket finals. We have Vici Gaming versus LGD. Vici, we had no surprises there. Definitely one of the contenders to be taking the entire tournament in general. And LGD Gaming, well, Director 8, well, when he finds a way, he finds a way. He takes down IG, he takes down Newbie, no problem at all. He tore through his countrymen, and he got to this spot. In the winner bracket finals, the winner will go to the grand finals tomorrow, straight in there. Don't have to play that best of 3 lower bracket final before playing that BO5. So a win here will be a huge advantage to whoever claims it. Well, I'm Lysander. I'm joined here by Blaze. That was quite the intro, my friend. How you doing? Are you still alive? I heard you casting the whole day.
Yeah, man, it's been a little rough of getting 5 hours of sleep and then going at it, but I got a little cat nap in there, and I'm ready to go for another round. Vici LGD, the winner bracket final. Loser goes up against Team Malaysia. Winner, obviously, advancing forward. Man, this is going to be intense. I mean, Vici Gaming looks so good throughout the past few weeks. I mean, in general, with 6.84 metagame, they've been looking really strong. But the nerfs did target some of their favorite heroes, and obviously in the summit we got to see that they can be beaten. So let's see what LGD can try to learn from the losses of Vici and try to kind of push their advantage in some positions.
Well, Director 8 has this way of scripting the old game, as LD likes to call it, to his favor. And well, looking at the draft here, you know, I've got a dad joke for you, if you're in the mood.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, you know what? I'll try it another time. I think I lost the whole feeling for that, so never mind. I'll try it another time. I think I missed the punchline. I'm not gonna try it. No, I'll try it when it's better. When I'm more warmed up after game number 1. Hopefully we don't get 18-minute games from yesterday, like yesterday. But you know, never know, man. It's the death ball meta. A lot of them are calling it, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised because Newbie. I mean, until just now, they actually proceeded really far into the tournament, much to the surprise of people. They took down IG, which were quote-quote the better team. So, well, bring back Death Ball, bring back Newbie.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of snowball mechanics really kicking in, and people are trying to find a way to kind of stall out the games and make it so that they can get to a mid to late game team fight and carry stage. And for the most part, they're failing. I mean, Vici Gaming have shown that they can up the tempo of the game so much that it's very difficult to hold the line and to really run anything in any sort of way that's greedy. But all the same, we've seen that they can be stalled out. That some kind of like high ground defending AoE team fight ultimates can really give them some difficulty. And also, like, a little bit of death ball against them. As you see here, LGD, they've got the bristleback they can put on the front line. Whenever he feels threatened, he can just turn his back and make sure that he doesn't take too much damage. They've got the Beastmaster Roar to cover it all, but I'm curious how they're going to kind of finalize this draft, what they're going to be putting into maybe their secondary support position. Right now they've got the Gyrocopter most likely for the safe lane, and that would leave maybe like a Beastmaster mid. Obviously they can switch things up, maybe go aggro try, and that would be fine. But I'm just trying to think of like what would allow their tri lane to fight that much more effectively.
Well, the Beastmaster, like I said, it really adds to the Death Ball because of the aura. But most importantly, I think the Beastmaster, I really like how Beastmaster been picked, because a lot of the popular heroes nowadays actually, well, it's been for a while, but until recently, Beastmaster has not been picked as much. It's one of Xiaoweight's favorites as well. He does play a mean Beastmaster. He's been actually quite well known for it. And the most important thing I was trying to get to is the Primal Roar pierces BKB, and a lot of BKB piercing lockdowns are hard to find and hard to apply with the hero that has it. Because most of the time, if a hero has that, he doesn't really apply into your draft. But with this whole quote-quote Death Ball meta going on, I think Beastmaster is perfect for this role. And he will lock down that Shadow Fiend that will definitely intend to get a BKB against Gyrocopter's nuke damage. So I think it's a strong draft from LGD, and Vici seems to be playing without Ice. Am I wrong to say that?
No, We were talking about it yesterday, trying to figure out exactly if Jarl was the same individual. On Dota Buff, it's a different account, but as far as I understand it, it's still the same person. So it's still Ice 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 on an alt account that doesn't have any aliases. It's a little hard to Scooby-Doo track that down, but in the end, I think the grand conclusion is it's still Ice 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 we're working with here.
Okay. A lot of people are saying it's the coach of Vici, and well, it could be a really big decider because Ice is quite the player, and Vici ain't
Hmm.
Vici without Ice. So hopefully it is Ice. Well, we'll be able to see once you get into the game. And we see some 6.83 here. Vengeful Spirit, gonna make a resurgence. Your thoughts on this? Avenge.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, I mean, position control is pretty important against Bristleback in general. Getting him so that you can bring him into a bad spot would be fine. Also, you can do that to the Gyrocopter and really make his life miserable, because if you can focus him down with quick nukes, Shadow Fiend, etc., then you can really make it so that he's not able to get all his flak cannon out and just survive longer of the fight. The longer Gyrocopter stays up, it's kind of a ticking time bomb of damage in a team fight. So by taking care of that early, Venge can do a lot of work, but I think this is mostly just for laning. I feel like FY and Fenrir are really confident with the Venge Ancient Apparition, roam around, magic missile nukes, getting kills easy, and they can pretty much put any flexible core hero for their safe lane, and it can still work fine for How.
I feel I don't like the Venge because I feel that I wouldn't call her a burst hero. I mean, you say it's a nuke, but she's she doesn't do a lot of damage. The wave of terror is nice, the stun is nice, but my main qualm with Vengeful Spirit has always been her short range. And
Mhm.
paired up with the Ancient Apparition, you really need a smoke or some really good fog manipulation to actually deal with an offlaner, and especially one as tanky as Bristleback. Vengeful Spirit may not actually be the hero that you want to zone the BB with. And whoa, okay, we see a uncommon carry choice here for How. We'll pick up that Spectre. Well, there has been a lot of talk about how the Death Ball is countered by Split Push. Do you think that's why the Spectre has been picked here?
Yeah, it's interesting. It feels like they just have a read on the tempo of the game, how much space they can create and how much tempo they can control with heroes like Clockwork and AA. And by being able to use things like Rocket Flare and Ice Blast across the map to slow the push overall, to control the Roche Pit and limit LGD from taking objectives, they feel like they want to play the long con a little bit. And then, of course, long term, you've got really good synergy with Rocket Flare, Ice Blast, and the Haunt. Spectre's going to be able to do so much damage and most likely shatter one or two heroes. So I think Spectre overall is a pretty solid pick, but I think it's mostly the fact that they know that she's going to come online in the timing that they're looking for.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, they will have to hold the fort here for at least 20-ish minutes before the Spectre can get something valuable out. And right now, what you can see from Vici's combo, swap Ice Blast, hook Ice Blast. I think hook Ice Blast will be their main form of attack. And oh, my Dota's spiking a little bit. Alright, yeah. I think hook Ice Blast, and then if the Ice Blast lands, we go for Haunt to finish off. I think that's the main strat to that point where she just 1v5s. But yeah, we can run through the team very quickly. We have LGD playing Radiant, Shell 8 playing the Witch Doctor. So gonna be making some house calls here. Sylar on the Gyrocopter, Boots first, maybe on the Beastmaster going solo mid. So it's not a Shell 8 Beastmaster. Bristleback played by Yao. And Rubik can be played by MMY. Also, Boots first. A lot of Boots on this team. Vici, all yours.
Yeah, so looking at Vici game, of course, we've got the support Wonder Boys here. We've got Fenrir running on the Vengeful Spirit, FY on the Ancient Apparition, doing work on the top lane. We're going to have Super running on the mid, Shadow Fiend with a stats build that most likely wants to go for an early Magic Wand. Then we've got How that's going to be going for the safe lane, Spectre. This will leave for the off lane a Jaw, perhaps Ice. We'll just call him Jaw just to
Well, we'll see
make
if
it all
it's
simple.
Ice in a moment.
Yeah, that's fair. And any item drop thing, you'll know pretty quickly. But yeah, he's gonna be running the offlane Clockwork.
Alright, so once again, Bounty Rune, 1 apiece. And we'll have Sentry Wards blocking the Ancient stack. So it looks like they will be calling this Beastmaster mid. It is the obvious choice given the draft. Didn't really take a serious look at it, but yeah, maybe going middle lane on that Beastmaster does make a lot of sense now, and he does seem to have Shell 8 support for at least a few levels to zone out the Shadow Fiend, making sure that he does not get that bottle. He has gotten really greedy on that SF though. So, oh, that's raised level 1. It could be a kill here. One more click. Oh no, not enough. If another click had landed from FY, could have gotten that first blood. Not gonna happen here. Xiao 8 will keep his life, but just barely. Oh, maybe.
So, yeah, I like this dual lane a little bit. They're not going to get as much from like the jungle and independent pulling for the supports, but they're going to make sure that Shadow Fiend gets off to the start that he needs, getting his bottle out and getting his Necromaster up at least a few points before they leave him to the Beastmaster. Because if you actually look at Beastmaster's base stats, the fact that he has 4 armor,
damage.
644 HP, and yeah, up to almost 70 damage, like he's just going to be able to do so much work in this lane. But he's going for a pretty interesting build. This is the exact opposite of the build that we've seen from a lot of offlane Beastmasters, where they go for max Call of the Wild. This goes back a long way to just a kind of lane controlling build from maybe here Wild Axes and Inner Beast already picked up. It does push the lane a little bit, 15 attack speed for the creeps, but since Shadow Rays already clears it out, it's not a big deal.
Super's down. Yeah.
Yep. Good rotation there from Xiao 8 too. I mean, keeping coverage when the Ancient Apparition's gone. It's just that persistence that allows them to find that kill.
Yeah. It's yeah, the aura build is it is, you get that 1 point because it allows your board to constantly keep up the slow. So it could still shift into the Call of the Wild, but if he goes into 2 points Inner Beast, he could be looking for an early tower push kind of play with X spam, rune control, and yeah, tower pushing in general. But we'll see what happens here. Maybe he's about to hit that level 4 mark very soon, so we'll see what he actually decides to go for. The Bottle Crow will be coming out here, but Xiao 8 picks up a regeneration rune. Could be very happy with that one. And the SF already on the back foot here, super falling to that Xiao 8 Witch Doctor. Has been doing a lot of work.
So we're going to be looking at maybe a gank up top here, Magic Missile to start onto Yao, but with the creep wave coming in and the carry so far away, they really don't find much opportunity. So they're just focused on making sure he's zoned out. Yeah. But they're going to have to look for pulling, maybe stacking up at 250 or something along those lines. They don't want to just sit here all the while. I mean, zoning with one hero is fine, but yeah, they definitely need to get at least Fenrir back in the jungle and focusing on keeping the creep equilibrium in check. But overall, I mean, they know that there is this pull on lockdown, so they have limited options. They have to stack the easy camp first before they start pulling through in order to make sure that they get the control they're looking for.
Yeah, the thing about the Vengeful and AA is that you don't stun or lock down the Bristleback long enough for enough damage to set in with your Chilling Touch. I mean, look, they're going to try and stun him, but look at the damage. It's like pointless here. They're trying to slow him. If they get a freeze, they might kill him, but yeah, it's almost impossible to kill him. Spectre doesn't offer the burst damage that is required to kill him unless he's really close to the Spectre when the stun starts, allowing you to get some desolate hits in. But yeah, unless Cold Feet locks in, it's not going to be a kill here on Yao. And AA, he's avoiding the Bristleback for now. And yeah, Yao, look at him, full of confidence, runs up to the front. He doesn't really care. Vengeful Spirit, that's one of her downsides, I think. Being a really strong overall balanced hero in terms of stats and spells, but when it comes to bursting an off-laner like Bristleback down, it's not an option.
Yeah. It's a significant drawback. With Ice Vortex, I think it'll be a little bit easier on them, but for now, it's just kind of, they have to let the Bristleback get something out of the lane and just kind of do their own thing. At least they're limiting his Ancient stacking. Right now, the Sentry Ward just expired, but the Radiant Ancients have not spawned yet this game, and there's some good potential for that. Oh, they actually will get the Cold Feet this time. Nice.
Yeah, this time they might.
Oh, no!
Oh, it does not.
Wow,
Okay,
he still dies.
Yeah. Chilling Touch, level 1. More than enough here. He should have turned around to try and get something done. But I'm not sure if he continued walking straight, he could have survived there. Maybe given MMI some time to throw someone into tower range, get a revenge kill. But ultimately, I think, yeah, that was Bristleback being too confident and running right into the face of the Cold Feet Vengeful Spirit. So yeah, he was really close to the supports this time, so they were able to burst him down. But yeah, good kill for Vici. So they balance out the score 1-1. Ice bottom lane. No deaths yet. Maybe it's not Ice.
No, I'm pretty sure it is. He's just playing this really smooth, very cool, and calm, collected.
It's like the ROTK Ice check, man. They gotta die sometime in that off lane, otherwise it ain't them.
But we'll see. I mean, maybe he'll just wait till level 6, look for opportunities once he gets that hook shot online. For now, there's a lot of activity in the Dire Jungle. They're not really focusing on their own side of the map. Their stacks are pretty limited. Just one double stack on the Radiant Hard Camp on the west, and none on the Ancients because it's been blocked for a long time. But they're still invading. They're still kind of making their movement aggressive. And with this haste rune, they should be able to find a kill if anybody's exposed. The problem is they're not finding anybody. FY is playing it safe, but now the smoke will be revealed right onto How.
They're gonna group in, and Spectre, will he stay alive? Melodic, and yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen here. The cost bounce the second time, back onto the carry. Spectre, right clicks come in, and Melodic will pop him, so he's gonna run up to the high ground there. Gets the kill there, Xiao 8 once again making plays around the map, and oh yeah, there's haste in here. Super could be in big trouble. The wave comes out, that's gonna be raise number 1. Nope, raise number 2 is not gonna lock in, and the haste rune will allow him to get out of cold feet range. So once again, another great kill here on that Shadow Fiend. So 6 minutes in, we are 3-1, direct to 8, leading his team to victory so far in this early game.
Yeah. And I think the Beastmaster was considering maybe Power Treads, obviously could go Necronomicon, but now that he's got so much gold, you might as well just go Blink Dagger. Be able to really cement that advantage, get that extra boost in your mobility and positioning, and you can always find that opening for your Roar.
Yeah, that is a good point. We talked about Vici having to hold the line, but with Beastmaster Roar, we will actually see him just go at a hero every time it's off cooldown, and then take a tower after that, take an objective. And it looks like Ice about to fill its quota of dying here. Lift up, call down, and boom, it's Ice. Legit facts checkout, and here we go, 6:49. It took that long, but yeah, now we know for sure. It's Daroko.
So maybe actually Corey's out a smoke for himself, and it looks like he wants to roam with his next ultimate again. We'll see if he goes for the 8-minute rune and then finds a smoke opportunity, or if he just uses it before that actually comes into play. But either way, it's kind of interesting to see the mid get that smoke out at this kind of timing. But MMY looks to just kind of set up Beastmaster for success. One more kill means the Blink Dagger, and that's going to be where they could just get so aggressive. As far as levels go, right now the supports are around level 3, level 4. They're actually pretty even in that regard. But we do see that the Clockwork and the Bristleback both under-leveled a little bit here. They're sitting at level 5 on the off lane. Everybody else is above. Yep. So, good pickup. Yeah. I mean, that's... They still have kill potential. That's the bottom line. Is with a little bit of extra slow, they get their combo off. There still is kill potential, but it is, it's not as easy to execute as other support combos.
Yeah, it's pretty much just the Bristleback not playing careful at this point. He could tank the supports at the early levels where they only had like 1 or 2 skill points, but now that he has fed 2 kills over, the experience, the pulls have actually started to rack up. It's nearly 5 for each of the supports here on Vici. And they will. I hear Haunt. Where's the Haunt going up? Going bottom lane? No, wait. Where's the Haunt going?
No, that's interesting usage there.
Vision Haunt. Yeah.
Yeah, making sure that there's no smoke play happening. I guess. I mean, I'm not too sure exactly.
Speaking of which, on the bottom lane.
Well, actually, they saw that there was a smoke in Maybe's inventory, and now there's not. So that's probably what they were looking for. They know that now with that Haunt vision, they click everybody's inventory. They see the smoke in the support's hands, but they might not be playing it safe enough.
Dead. Nuclear launch detected right in the middle, and down he goes. You'll raise once and twice. Yeah, MMY is gonna fall here, and no TP supports will be needed nor used because well, it seems like maybe he has actually only gone for 1 point in the beast. So like I said, that 1 point allows your board to keep on applying the slow, and well, now they'll take that tier 1 tower with the help of that roar, or that gank rather, and yeah, it looks like it's book first, not blink.
Yeah, I saw that build of strength. I thought that was a possibility, and it looks like he just wants to focus on that continuous push pressure, get a couple of easy towers based on the Necronomicon and the kind of full zoo that you can pick up here, and one more gank up top, follow that up with a tower push, and you're going to condense the space that How has to farm. So overall, a really just great set of items and tempo to really control this Spectre.
Yeah, Beastmaster has kind of been like the Juggernaut, where he has been constantly buffed over and over, little bits of buffs here and there, and then finally people realize it's getting absurd, and they just go for that. Pick, and now FY gonna be caught out here with MMY, and he's gonna lose his life to that Rubik. Fenrir, on the other hand, will escape with his life, but very low in health. MMY might actually try and secure a kill here, but good TP here prevents himself from getting caught out, and MMY. Now gonna have that 6.5 level. They do lose Ice, Ancient Apparition, but they do pick off the Gyro in return. Well, not so sure if that was worth it, a trade, because well, the Gyro is building towards a BKB now, and that death really didn't slow him down too much because of all that money he has spent. That reliable goal actually on him. He didn't really lose any money.
Because he's getting all these tower kills for his team. Like LGD are claiming so many towers that the bounty will allow that gyrocopter to have so much reliable gold to work with and build up towards his next item conveniently. They've also got this really nice aggressive ward out on the eastern side of the Dire jungle, so that if Super was trying to farm up stacks, that would be taken care of. But Fenrir will keep that in mind, puts out a couple sentries, realizes they didn't place one up on the high ground, so they go ahead and check down here, and it's right on the mark.
Yep, it's a good play. Well, we look for Ice and his first initiation here. It's gonna be a little bit tougher being it being daytime, and Gyrocopter being a really hard hero to kill with Clockwork, I think. So might not want to do it because Rocket Barrage is pretty insane against a Clockwork. Getting up close to a Gyrocopter is just bad in general. So Clockwork, Undying, they all really crumble to a Gyrocopter, making him a choice pick, especially in this version. Having a lot of advantages on him already. Looks like they want to try and go for that roll into tower pick off again. They're really blowing through those smokes. LGDR and Vici looking to respond in kind, purchases one up themselves, so we'll see who gets caught out first. It looks like it might be How. He seems to be walking that way. The bird sees him and okay, they say, okay, here it is. And they forced up the Rubik. Okay, no.
The Rubik force staffs himself, but they actually don't get the telekinesis off to pull through the trees. Instead, he gets hook shotted, and MMY is going to go down first.
Alright, there's a race falling out as well. The call down, going to blow up How. Fenrir could be the second one. The cast is bouncing all around, but now Syla caught out of position, gets brought down by that Clockwork. Meldick is still onto Ice, so it doesn't want to take any more damage. And that was a very unfortunate fight. The Spectral Dagger actually killed the Hawk, denying the vision for the Rubik to actually get the lift off. And now we're going to have this awkward initiation here. Once again, the cast going to be doing serious damage. Fenrir leading maybe into his entire team. The access could be huge here. 3 seconds on that cooldown, and could find that Zhao. Ice is going to throw out the cogs and block out the Beastmaster. And now the swap, very interesting horizontal swap going out there. A little bit panic. A little bit of panic movement going on. And there's your Spectre coming in. Xiao 8 going to get desolated once, twice! Oh.
Jeez. That was
just
close.
gives Xiao 8 a new haircut. Doesn't get himself killed, but Xiao 8 with nick of time. Will TP back to base. How wasting his ultimate there, going Vanguard first. Needs to resist all that right click power coming in from the Beastmaster pets, as well as the Bristleback Gyrocopter right clicks. All those things do add up, so I think he will go for Vanguard first. It's not too uncommon a build now on Spectres. The Radiance Rush is rarely seen nowadays, and Vanguard is the first security item, so to speak. And wow, Rubik has a 4-staff already, 30 minutes in.
Yeah, that was his 4-staff trying to make the play against How earlier in the tree line, and almost worked out too. But in the end, How still is kind of safe and sound farming away. 1, 2, 3 is not an ideal KDA, but it's going to work out for him well enough to get some decent item timings here. And we'll see if he goes for the full Vanguard or just a casual Vit booster. Either way, that Vitality booster was very important for him to tank up, and yeah, we'll see where he goes from there. But Bristleback is the main target for Vici's next move. Hookshot pretty much ready to go, and they do have vision now.
Okay.
Yeah,
They need to take him out fast, and there they will. There's a TP coming in. Gyrocopter should cancel that. No, he's not. He's not going to cancel that. Fenrir's going to roll right into the nuke. Get slowed down. Xiao 8 looking for the cask as well. They're looking for this Venge. The Venge is running fast, running hard. That's a Rubik Dagger. That's friendly fire there or not. The cask will bounce to an ally. No, it will not. Syla still chasing down FY. He wants a kill. Picks up the cash on the ground. FY running away, but Syla doesn't have homing missiles, so it doesn't have that weapon installed. So FY will actually scramble away with extra money, going for a Midas. He does have it already, yeah. So having that Midas 40 minutes in, this is the game of rich supports.
Yeah, FY is doing really well for himself here. I mean, just a couple kills, 3 assists, and it adds up pretty quick. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how quickly that turns out into an Aghanim Scepter, because every second counts here in this game. Vici Gaming, they know that the Spectre isn't going to be just suddenly blowing people apart. She's going to be taking some time to build herself up, and it's Vici's job to make space for How. I mean, a lot of times you see like an Ancient Apparition just kind of go AFK farm the jungle while 4 allies push on the opposite side of the map, and all he brings in is the Ice Blast. He doesn't get that option here because the carry is too hungry for gold while not really capable of combat. So I think that FY is going to have to kind of balance out his defensive farming style with a little bit of offensive fighting.
Yeah. The Midas is a great pick here in a sense, because normally you would fault a support for getting Midas in a game that you are behind on, but in this case, I think Vici, they analyzed the situation. They realized, hey, 15 minutes in against a death ball lineup, we aren't exactly pushed into our base. You know, normally you would see if the games yesterday were any indication, 15 minutes in, tier 3s were getting knocked down, and well, Vici, they see, well, we got one tier 1, we got triple tier 2s up. It looks like we're fine. We can drag this game out, maybe stall it out for another 20 minutes. I think that Midas can really stand to pay off, and well, it was gotten at a good timing as well, so I really applaud this Midas pickup. It will allow him to get the Aghanim Scepter slowly but surely because of all the reliable gold that he'll be getting from it. So, Vici, I think they still have a good shot at this. LGD may be a hit, but they aren't exactly unstoppable at the moment. It could get that way if they win 1 or 2 big fights, but for now it's not going to happen. Nicely dodging that Ice Blast as well, expecting it. They step back for a moment, now they walk in.
Yeah, just good movement from them overall. I don't think they saw that coming on the mini-map. The sentry's a little bit off the mark for that, but still they predict it, they see it coming, they move out of the way, and they'll take the tier 2 tower, no problem. So tier 1 is not yet in exchange. Super's putting some pressure out now, but it's a little belated, and they could easily look for rotations at the tier 2 tower first, at the tier 1 tower second, but they could definitely look to make sure that it's not an exchange, but just a straight up win for LGD.
I like how Hao is holding out on that ring of health, not buying that Vanguard completely, thinking about going Relic now. I think he realizes that there might be a time bomb waiting to blow up in his face, so he has to get that Radiance before the enemy actually closes out the map to him. So I think it's a smart play here. Doesn't buy anything that he really needs to, especially since you can get that Ring of Health in your base now anyway. So no rush to get it.
Yeah, so we'll see exactly. Yeah, I mean, if he's about to die, he might actually purchase it because he is sitting on a lot of unreliable gold. But then again, 1,600 of that is unreliable, so it's not. It actually wouldn't save him any money. It's just if he found the situation where he just said, okay, screwed him dying too much, then of course he has that option. But at this point, we see BKBs coming out pretty soon. Yao and Sylar. When those BKBs are finished, they're gonna go for Roche, and when that Roche is claimed and that Aegis is on the gyrocopter, that's when they push in. For now, the tier 2 towers will stand outside and they'll look for occasional gank opportunities, but it's really just about farming for these BKBs, and that's when it's a clear point of leverage for LGD to try to end this game. Obviously, we see the gyrocopter has his now, but Yao, still a full recipe away. Will have to kind of take some time for himself.
Maybe they go cheat a little bit on their diet and go straight for Roshan. No, try and call Vici's bluff. You know, do you want to fight now? Do you want to really engage into a Necro 3? They have Ice Blast, which makes that very easy and a mechanism as well, but right now Spectre isn't outputting a lot of damage. Waiting for that BKB recipe could buy enough time for the Spectre to get that farm. It's a stretch, but it could be possible. And Yao looks like he will be taking the latter option, going for the BKB instead. So.
Yep, so I mean, we're going to see the Ice Blast come down bottom, just trying to get a little bit of extra damage on any heroes they can, so that when that tier, not the tier 1, the tier 1's going to fall guaranteed, but if they start to pressure their tier 2, they're already a little bit weakened from that early suppression harassment. So tier 1's definitely gone. Tier 2 is where they might try to draw the line if they can find a good opening with the hook shot. A lot of heroes can jump in from pretty long range here, but still Super, with just the mechanism, needs a lot more, so he's going to focus on the mid lane, and it looks like they will seed the tier 2 as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, they will sack it, try and get 2 tier 1s as a result. You see SF as well as the Spectre trying to claim towers, but unfortunately destroying either one of these will reset the glyph for the next one, so having a lot of glyph here on the line is going to be real tough. Oh, they get hit by an Ice Blast before they go in for a gank, so it could be slightly disadvantageous to dive in right now. Sylar is at 700 health and Frostbitten up. Unfortunately for Vici, they don't have an opportunity to capitalize off this, so that little Ice Blast is not going to cause them as much trouble. The tier 2 towers are all but lost except for the middle one here for Vici, so they are running out of time. They will need to choose what item they really want to get now carefully, I think, and how really skipping the Ring of Health was a smart play as a carry player here. He's about to run out of map space to play his game.
Yep, the tier 2 gone, Roche exposed, Hao just trying to farm anything he can. He clearly is going for the Radiance. He actually bought the recipe and then sold it, but I think it's going to come out about the same time the Beastmaster finishes Pipe, and that's actually a pretty big problem. With 2 BKBs and a Pipe of Insight on the Beastmaster, that Radiance doesn't mean nearly as much as it normally would, and that means that Hao isn't going to like automatically win a fight and repel the opposition just because of the Radiance pickup. So he's got to also, they also have to fight really well. They have to use the cogs extremely potently to kind of bounce them around, separate the fight. Yeah, anything you can do to really manipulate LGD and to make it so that they can't get to their prime target.
Oh, BB is actually 75 gold away from his BKB, and he's also not at this fight. So LGD, if they push in here, they could be running themselves into a wall if they're not careful. The Spectre 300 away from Relic, would really love to beat to get that gold before he starts in this fight. Probably sack that tier 2 tower in favor of the Relic purchase. It's a possible thing, but with Shadow Razors and a lack of jump on LGD right now, it still could be possible for the SF to stand back and raise. And you can see here, yeah, he's going to double raise, and it will slow the wave, the push a lot. And not wanting to feed these Necro units over, it's going to be one of the main points as to why Vici can hold these this tier 2 tower. So I think the smart play here is Roshan, like you said.
So right now we've got a 4,200 net worth lead on LGD. They're pretty much dead even in experience due to 5-banding so much and pushing together, where Vici have kind of tapped into the jungle a little bit. So it's going to be coming down to how they swing that extra net worth around, those extra items, the pipe, the 2 BKBs. Going to be the difference maker here. So I think that they're going to... If they see that Ice Blast is on cooldown, they'll immediately go for Roche, but maybe they're still tentative with a possible... I mean, there's a lot of things that could catch them off guard. Even something like an Invis Rune on a Shadow Fiend can cause a lot of problems in the wrong situation. He's smoked up right now. They're making their way up top, and they're just going to bait the Spectre, who's going to be pushing out the easy tier 1.
Yeah, we have Fenrir at level 1 swap though, so he will have to stay rather close to get the Spectre out of trouble. And of course we have Clockwork here to cut the fight in half, so we'll see if LGD take the bait. But what they're doing now is not taking towers, they're actually fighting on their own turf, and this is what VG needs, build space for themselves to extend the game, and extending the game goes in their favor. AA will get his Aghanims, Spectre will get his Radiance. I think once Aghanims comes online, it's going to be really difficult for LGD to push into anything. Because right now, as it stands, there's cogs to block out the ramp, and because LGD's cores are all melee or short range, they cannot actually pressure the tower without getting to cog range. And then there are razors, there's Ice Vortex to amplify the magic damage that will be coming in, swapping you into unfavorable positions, Ice Ice blocking your exit. There's a lot of problems that could come with that high ground defense, and Vici, their supports are amazing players, so you have to be very careful when you want to take a gamble like that.
Yeah, I agree with that analysis in terms of the draft as a whole, but I really like how LGD are answering it with items. Pipe, double BKB, and I believe MMY is even going to go for a Glimmer Cape here. He's got the Cloak right now, Shadow Amulet pretty soon, and that just puts him in a position where they can negate a lot of that incoming damage and just keep maybe the Bristleback of the Gyrocopter on the front line all the while. So now Gyrocopter gets to build up his stats. Whatever item he ends up going with this Ultimate Orb, he's going to be in a good position to stay in the fight. Could go Manta, could go Scotty. But again, no matter what, he's in a great spot where he can tank up and he can just kind of be that frontline anchor that they can all revolve around. But no Roche play just yet, just pushing out the lanes. And is there... I mean, obviously there are risks with Roshan, right? There's Ice Blast, there's getting hooked in, the Aegis Snatched and forced off play.
Swap.
It's not the ideal, so I guess they'll take the tier 2 now and then look for Roshan when they have absolute certainty that there's no way that VG can contest.
Yeah, I actually think Hao being here is not exactly the best. He should be off on another lane. There aren't a lot of heroes that can catch him off guard anyway. He should actually be playing greedy, just farming around the map. There are no blinks yet on maybe or MMY. Maybe there's a 4-star, there's a Glimmer Cape, but I think he can actually try and play greedy for himself here and try and get that extra money for that Radiance, because he's so close to it. He's up 300 away, and he's not gonna find any farm here in this lane. And there we go, he's actually going for it. Hao is running through the bottom lane, waiting for that creep wave to push. There's it's a 4 range creep wave here, so they will actually push really hard. And it's up to Hao to actually stick it to them, you know, force LGD back. He's nearly got his Radiance, and Radiance will really up his damage potential in the fight. So Radiance burn aside, there's mischance as well.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a problem for the gyrocopter in particular. If I don't think it goes through BKB, so just whenever he's not in BKB, he has to worry about that because flat cannon makes it so the miss chance kind of applies twofold on targets that you're not at directly right clicking, and that's obviously a problem for him getting his damage out. But BKB
Does
should nullify that for the most part. It's 10-second duration, so it should be a minimal impact until later on when his
yeah.
BKB wears down.
Does Glimmer Cape actually can you cast Glimmer Cape on BKB allies?
As far as I know, yes.
You can? Okay. Well, I think what Vici should be doing now is, well, if they want to look for risky plays, they should actually try and force out some BKBs. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they could try and force out some BKBs on Sylar, because letting him have that 10-second BKB for a late game gyrocopter is gonna be very disastrous. Like you said, LGD are just holding it in and waiting to unload on Vici right now. Well,
Yeah.
they might be actually doing the unloading right now. They smoke up. And they puff on that Stoogie and they're going in looking for a Roshan, maybe going for a pick-off. Either way, they will be in a very favorable position. Oh, we might force staff the Beastmaster forward. No, it's not going to happen. So they're going to go into Rosh instead. It will be easily scouted with an Ice Blast or Rocket Flare. Looks like we're going to go. Yao is only at level 1 Nasal Goo, so it's only a -1 armor debuff here onto Roshan. They have been spotted, and looks like VG plan to contest this. Here comes the Ice Blast. Only hits the Bristleback though. This could be really bad for them. Only hitting that Bristleback makes this very difficult to contest. And Ice Blast is about to wear down. I think Ice is thinking about it. He's thinking about it. We're gonna look at him right now. It's so close. We're gonna go in. Are we gonna go in? Yes, that's a hook shot. He takes a lot of damage though. Clockwork picks up the Aegis. He even gets the kill on the Roshan. Ice, the player. No maybe about this. You're going down. The Requiem of Souls gonna be taking him out. And now Yao trapped in a really bad chasm with a very angry Shadow Fiend. And this Roshan fight 3-0. Ice is the man. How? Chasing after the Rubik. Dagger to follow. The Ice Blast follow up. Sylar getting burnt down by the Radiance. Glimmer Cape or not, he's going down. It's a triple kill for How. And suddenly it turns around. 9-11 is the score. And Ice single-handedly won that team fight for his team. Oh my lord. That guy. Oh man.
Just insane. Ice plays. Like, the cogs were perfect. The snatch, incredible. Like, the fact that that just happened just shows what one of the best players in the entire world could accomplish when he sets his mind to it. I mean, they laid the groundwork for that Roche play really nicely. LGD, they had this Sentry Ward. If you look over the Dire Ancients, they had the Sentry Ward in play, and they had an Observer Ward up top, so they could see the Ice Blast coming. They all dodged the Ice Blast except for the Bristleback, because they saw it coming on the minimap with that little red dot. That's what Sentry Wards will do for you. But the problem is, it doesn't matter when Ice just completely outplays you anyways. And the hook shot, the cogs, the force staff, like, everything was absolutely perfect. And once they got locked in, once they got just caught in that small clump where they just couldn't move around, they couldn't respond the way they wanted to, they just got picked apart by Vici. Like, that was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Well, Jal couldn't have done that, only Ice. And, he certainly won my vote for MVP. Ice Blast gonna hit onto the ECRs. He could go for a hook shot though. 2 supports easily picked off, but it looks like Ice is really off the table for feeding sprees this game. It really realizes that any kind of small mistake can lose his team the game. So not gonna take any serious risk with his life, and well, the only risk he took paid off hard. And now LGD, they seem to be desperate. They want to push into this base because Spectre got a huge chunk of gold. He got himself a trust fund with that kill.
And did you see that gold craft? Like, that's just insane. Like, LGD have been very convincingly in control of this game for quite some time, and now it dips down to below 2,000 in LGD's deficit. Like, they are just struggling now because it's all about momentum. And although they still have some great game-ending tools, the fact that they lost that most critical of fights, it gives them less and less confidence going in each passing minute.
Where are you now, Rubber Band fan streets? Oh man, a lot of people are saying Rubber Band is gone, but it actually isn't gone. It was just altered with the 20% gold being well, it's not 20% gold. You get more net worth from a kill that is gotten from the highest net worth on the enemy team. If that makes any sense, you get less for killing a guy that's on the lower end. But when you get a triple kill like that, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get that bonus 20%, you get the normal, you get everything. And Well, team wipes are still really good for gold changes. That's all I'm trying to say. Sounds silly, but there is still some sort of comeback mechanic in this game. It's just not as strong as the previous version.
So right now, Vici, I mean, just any kind of disadvantage is wiped out completely. The Spectre already is a hero that naturally scales well the late game. Like every patch, getting a team fight like that means a huge amount for the Spectre. Every single patch, from the maximum rubber band mechanics to the non-existent ones, it means a lot for a Spectre to get that many kills and that many assists, and this is just putting it where Spectre can do just so much. I mean, she's about to hit level 16, she's going to have a Manta style. Like, Hao is just going to be playing out of his mind and doing so much work, and I actually find it pretty interesting that Super ended up going for a Lincoln Sphere. I think it's really solid with the fact that once you pop your BKB, the only thing you have to worry about is Primal Roar. But yeah, it's just one of those things where sometimes you see them kind of still trying to go for a little bit of items that are both offensive and defensive. Like Manta Style has some good defensive components, but still gives you good active stats with the movement speed, the attack speed, and the agi. But in the end, they go for something that works really well as far as holding the line, and of course, this also gets Ice Blast for FY agged up so that they can take the big fight.
Oh, ice. Jedi Rocket Flare there. Scouts out the entire enemy squad. And the thing about a BKB timing attack is if you fail your BKB timing attack, you effectively wasted all your gold buying an item that only gives you moderate health boost as well as damage boost. You don't have that huge DPS coming out from your Gyrocopter, your big tank ability, or your movement speed buff that you get from the Sergeant Yasha and Bristleback, and now even the Radiant Courier getting killed there. Extra insult to injury. And was it Clockwork that killed it? I think so. He used the Force Staff. I think he got the Courier himself. I'm not sure where the Courier died. I have to go check. Let me see. Yeah, it died. Yeah, Ice got it. So, what does it have? It has the Boots of Travel recipe here for the Beastmaster. I think Beastmaster should have gotten Blink. What are your thoughts? I mean, the pipe hasn't really shown a lot of merit so far. And,
I think the pipe was fine. I think maybe he could have afforded to go Blink and then Necro and then pipe. But I agree with the items that he's gotten, just maybe a different order. In the end, they felt confident just kind of deathballing it. They felt confident just putting one person forward and having the roar to respond. But that extra range would have been pretty nice. Now, as Blink would be pretty useless because you're up against a Radiant Spectre. You're up against the Ice Blast that has a massive duration of 17 seconds. Like, now Blink is not going to be all that helpful unless you're starting the fight out of a smoke at a seat. But all the same, yeah, I think Blink would have been useful earlier this game, and now he's just kind of in a weird spot where he just needs a little bit of everything. He needs mobility, he needs utility, needs push, and at this point, it's fighting uphill.
I always feel that a Death Ball strat needs some sort of initiation because you Death Ball, but you always need that final oomph to push into base, and having an initiator can really help you with that because your enemies are always going to be at the edge, the fringes of the tier 3 tower or the tier 2 tower, trying to edge in some nukes to destroy the push. But because they don't have any blinks or any jumps, they can't really run into the team and look for a target. Oh, nice swap there from Fenrir.
They're going to put him right in the Ice Blast.
Okay, only on the Bristleback, but he's taking a lot of damage. But Fenrir takes more, and he will collapse here. And Spectral Illusions coming in, burning away that pipe damage. For now, the dagger going onto Yao. It is an Aghanim Scepter upgrade, Ice Blast, so he's going to be ticking down a lot and not healing for a long time.
I mean, Zhao can go ahead and go for the Earnest Shadows, go for the Voodoo Restoration, bring him up slowly, but yeah, in the end, the Venge saves the Spectre's life. They get some good return damage, and again, it's just about stretching out the map, just making it so that the game lasts longer and more lanes are being pressured. Down bottom, we have 3 range creeps, 4 melee, all pushing in for the Dire side. They have to address that before they can go for anything really offensive. And then, of course, Roche is respawning within the next 1 to 3 minutes. So that's going to be the next objective to be looked at. And that buys time. That buys time for Shadow Fiend to not only have his mech BKB Lincolns, which is great, just trifecta of defensive items, but also the Blink Dagger. Oh, nice. I don't know about that. Yeah,
yeah, that feels like the Ice Slice of old, the one that we know. Space! And he hooks right in, but yeah, not today. Not today. It's winner bracket finals for you guys tuning in. It's iLeague Season 3. We are in that winner bracket final, the best of 3 that will decide the grand finalist, the first grand finalist of this Chinese this Chinese LAN tournament. And the most important thing is a winner. The winner here will actually get to rest tomorrow for the lower bracket finals that will be happening. I think the loser plays Team Malaysia? Yeah, Team Malaysia, yeah. So loser plays Team Malaysia, not an easy opponent by any means. Mushi is known to throw you a lot of curveballs, among other things. So you have
Mushi's back on mid too, so it's scary.
He's back, man. He's like, I'm done with this supporting shit. I'm back in the mid. You buy the wards, I'll do the game. And well, LGD, I'm not sure they want to face Team Malaysia and then Vici again. And neither does Vici want to face Malaysia into LGD, but you know. It's got to be one of them, and it looks like Vici are at the Ice gonna force staff away. He's nearly getting hooked. Walks to the right a little bit. He's probably gonna blow up now. Yeah, probably. Now there's the Horn, the Ice Blast though, lands on 3. Sylar will not heal for this, and he's gonna run away. He's getting swapped back in by Fenrir on that Vengeful Spirit. Yao, all ice bitten up. They are gonna be frostbitten down, and Yao not healing up. He loses the frostbite just by a little bit, but how? He's shiny, he's bright, he has the Radiance. He's gonna take 2. Mega kill for him, and Super looking for Xiao 8 on that Shadow Fiend, but Ice, he's back. He's back with a vengeance. He paid some money to the Grim Reaper. He's back to get the 4th kill. And Beastmaster, the only one to survive, and maybe not. Haha, maybe jokes.
We'll see the Necronomicon actually chase down the Ancient Apparition, so unfortunately they can't destroy the gem with the summons, and obviously Beastmaster's not looking to pick it up. But still, at least they are able to get one in return. But yeah, just with the buyback and the death of the supports, LGD still get wiped out, and that's BKB charge forced out for the Gyrocopter at this point in a really bad state of affairs. Their only saving grace is potentially like the Aghanim Scepter that the Witch Doctor is working towards. Xiao 8 is actually only 1,300 gold away from it with one of the items on the Courier. The problem is you're up against a Clockwork who's just going to look to pin you down and make sure you never get the ultimate off.
Yeah, like you said, the only way to beat like the team fight is if one, they really get a great cask between 2 of the cores there, and then get the Melodic down with the Witch Doctor Aghanim's upgrade with Ice out of the picture, and then fighting close to the Vici base, and then not having any buybacks on their squad. I think you need a lot of factors to really get an advantage back in this game, because Bristleback Gyrocopter, they really do not match up against Shadow Fiend Spectre. And well, how? He manages to do it every single time. You know, he has that bad early game, and then he somehow gets it back into place, and he still has not upgraded that Ring of Health into a Vanguard, so now it's probably going to turn into a Heart, which arguably is the better late game choice. So everything worked out. That investment not going for the Ring of Health into Vanguard really shows how flexibility in your hero builds can really benefit you in the game. And
yeah. And Sylar's in a pretty bad spot right now because his BKB is wearing down. His Eye of Scotty, while it's an interesting choice, it gives him a good mix of like HP and offensive stats as well, like agility, strength. You'll never complain about having those. It's kind of like a super Sanjin Yasha without the movement speed boost. But the problem is, like, he now needs an MKB badly against a Spectre. If anybody picks up Evasion on top, like, he just can't hit. But obviously with the missed chance just from the Radiance alone, he's got to be frustrated. So he needs an MKB. He also needs a lifesteal, which isn't going to be even that great against the Ancient Apparition, who already has the Ags. Like, he's pretty much dealing with a finite health pool. He's missing his attacks. He's running out of BKB charges. It takes something like a double damage rune that he's got right now to actually take a fight. Maybe they'll push into this DD rune, but he has to pop his BKB so early it might not matter.
So Hao looking to expand that Aegis before it's reclaimed by Roshan. Just runs up there, tanks a whole Melodic. Really not a lot of damage to be coming out here. And Vici, for once, got to be on that heavy offensive, looking towards base. Yeah, spinning some goo to get things sorted, and now Sylar gets himself caught out. The 4-star there perfect, but the BKB not so perfect, and Hao gonna be shining bright with that Radiance, looking to pick off Yao in the backline, zoning away the Bristleback. Vici, Super unloads the Requiem of Souls, doesn't do much damage, but he does reduce it by 50, and now the Vengeful Spirit coming to play, swaps Super out of there, sacrifices himself. Hao still alive, unstoppable now, loses the egg, against Sylar, frostbitten up, he loses so much health, and the Cogs will take him out, and no chance at all. They get pushed back into their base, barely alive here. Hao at full health, he's got a full tank of oil, he's ready to go in, and he mantles out of that goo. Chopping away the tower, objective-based gaming there, sending in the Spectres, burning down the enemy supports in Naga style. And, well, LGD, they're pushed back to the well. I'm not sure they can hold this. Even with
Yeah,
the
I found
SF
Ice
out of
Blast is
picture.
gonna just crush them. They're actually trying to get out of it. M1Y will dodge it out, but jeez, they're still just losing so much here.
they're
The tier
running away.
3 is gone. Yeah, I mean, Hao's the only one with any gas left in the tank, really. Everybody else is out of mana, running low on life, the Witch Doctors are respawning. All these other factors, when they don't have any reason to take risk at this point, they are super farmed on Hao. They can wait a little bit, and then they can take the next engagement just as strong. So, obviously they did rely on the Aegis a bit, but that was only so that they could play it differently. They don't need the Aegis on Hao to win the fights, but it allowed them to be more offensive in that situation. He was diving tier 3s and near tier 4s because he had the Aegis, and he'll just play it differently without it. So, as it stands, a win for Vici. Moving forward, Shadow Fiend will farm up a
Ice
little
Blast.
bit.
Oh, Hao's coming
right.
in. Yao taking a rocket blast to the face. I think he could actually go first. No! Forces out a BKB, okay. Worth, I think. 420 seconds of cooldown. Easy.
So Hao will just go back to farming, and they'll wait out that, 100-second cooldown on Haunt. So, in the end, not really a big factor, but it frustrates the Bristleback so much, the fact that he can't do anything to hold against this long-range global damage. I mean, global is probably the most demoralizing strat to go up against, because
You can't hide.
at anything to you. They don't waste time moving to you, they don't do anything, they just hit buttons and you're suddenly at below half HP, cowering in your fountain. It's very frustrating.
Yeah. Well, at least there's an Azus or Prophet to add to the grief. But yeah, Syla, they're gonna try and push for it now. It's a Demon Edge, I want to say Rapier, but I'm not sure Syla is that kind of risk taker though. He might need it. I think, I don't know, he might really need it.
Yeah, but if he buys Rapier, all they do is just buy Butterflies and Solar Crest, and they still are able to wipe him out. Like, the Rapier is, although like a higher potential play, it's only good for one fight, and then they'll counter.
It's gotta be an all-in. But yeah, Syla probably going to get MKB like you said. Oh, hookshot once again finds Xiao 8, the director caught on his directing chair, raise, and down he goes back to the fountain for him. Super claiming that kill personally. Revenge for that early game mess that Xiao 8 cost for him. And yeah, 4,000 gold in the bank. It's Scotty time for Super.
Big defusal pickup too. That's such a good item on Spectre. Makes her Haunt do more damage than any other item, actually. Just the amount of damage per gold that you spend, Haunt illusions do so much more with the diffusal blade, with that mana burn, that feedback. Obviously won't work on BKB targets, but it just you can level it up and get more agility than a butterfly at level 2. You get that feedback on all the illusions, which you already have Mantis style for. Like, it's just such a good item, and it should be the game-ending one. Like, at this point, LGD, they're on the full defensive, and they still don't have that Ags on Xiao 8. If Xiao 8 had 900 more gold, I'd say that they have a chance to at least take a fight or two. But as it stands, it's just like Vici have an overwhelming advantage. But they're going to continue to accumulate that. They're going to still build themselves up, back it up, and just control the Radiant jungle, as well as the lanes.
Well, this game is definitely the antithesis of Death Ball. They tried for Death Ball and didn't work.
Combo breaker, man.
Yeah.
No, it's people have to understand the reason that Death Ball and Snowball tactics are common in this metagame right now is it's just so easy to execute on, and it's so easy to win with. Because the amount of gold you get from a melee and range Rax kill, because of how much gold your entire team gets when you take down a full lane of Rax, you pretty much just win the game outright. If you have a significant advantage already because you're pushing towers, and then you take down the Rax, they're being pushed in by those super creeps. They're lacking the funds to really compete with you, and you just got another item off of that. Like, it's a gigantic
huge now.
gold boost. So it's like, 500 per hero for melee and ranged.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
Yeah, you're looking at 2,500
FY
gold
run?
boost for your team.
Is there a blink? There is a blink.
Oh
Roar!
wow, mate, gets the range.
Right, so there'll be no I don't know about that. Okay, I guess a kill is a kill. They pick a gem out of
They
that.
were just worried to be thrown in their face by Ice again. They just went for it, but Xiao 8 will be lacking the Death Ward here, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and Ancient Apparition doesn't have buyback. This could be the fight. They could have. Nah, what am I saying? They're not gonna kill Spectre twice. No way. There's no way, right? Alright,
We'll
here
see.
comes
How's
Hao.
it going here?
Dagger
Manta
in.
already up.
Hook
Oh, the
miss.
hookshot misses, and the
Oh,
lag.
Ka! Okay. It's like I thought it would be like a did I just miss kind of pause. Alright. G and Xiao 8 very understanding. The Merit Man will resume the game, and looks like Hao's running right in there. He's not afraid at all, and he's ready. Yeah, it is kaiing a little bit here. And you know, we'll have perfect will servers, giving us a little bit of stagger, but it does build to the suspense. 20 seconds before the ice cannon is online, so...
They don't have any more Pipe of Insight. That's the problem. Is I mean, you still get that nice little like aura. So the inside aura is nice, but the bottom line is without that active, you can't push into all these nuke damage, raises and rocket flares and radiances. All this stuff is just too much. So they get a nice pickup on the Ancient Apparition. They get the gem, and they'll leave it at that. 2 gems on their side. They'll control the map a little bit better here. Use the Hawk plus Boar, you can deward anything. And yeah, that's why the Beastmaster now is carrying the gem, and I believe the Witch Doctor will leave his in the fountain once he makes his way home. But for now, he's farming, he's finishing his item, and in just 60 gold, one more last hit, he will have his Aghanim Scepter, assuming he doesn't get picked off.
Yeah. The main problem with yeah, the main problem with LGD
right,
is
Spectre.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, it's getting caught. Okay. Oh, is he gonna buy back for this? He might actually buy back for this if the Ice Blast hit for more than one hero. Yeah, but yeah, they actually get a really huge kill out of that. Didn't see that. Sorry. I was wondering what you were saying. And you were like, Spectre. Okay. I'm gonna get flamed so hard for that. But at least I get Roshan. Hao will say space from the graveyard, and Super will pick himself up a second life and cheese. So pretty worth it, I say. Drop the TP, get cheese as well. Ice blocking off the ramp for that entrance, and well, Ice will actually not have to do any hooking here to buy himself some time, and he will hook to the creep wave here, get some push going, and Hao will not need to buy back for this.
Yeah, no, he'll be fine to just wait it out here. He's a very farmed, but his team is just because he has a huge component of the net worth doesn't mean that his team is defenseless without him. Shadow Fiend's pretty huge in terms of net worth, been farming fast, 347 last hits on Super, just clearing out wave after wave here. And yeah, looking pretty large with this. Scotty could go Satanic or Butterfly next and feel pretty confident, but less likely to go Butterfly against the freshly picked up MKB. As Spectre Kill gets them the Aghanim Scepter on the Witch Doctor, the MKB on Sylar.
Refresher up
on
Spectre.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, it could be possible, right?
Sure. I mean, yeah, long term. I mean, obviously he doesn't have gold. I was just talking about items that they just got, but it might be the next pickup for the Spectre pretty soon.
It allows you to soften up with the first haunt and then finish off the second. It is Hex.
No, this is a good time for it. You want to go for the refresher at this point in time, and you're pretty much set for any fight. You'll burn through the first pipe easily with that.
It's more of like a like I said, a softening, and then you go in with the sushiing later on. But Hao can pretty much get anything he wants. And I was about to ask if Beastmaster should get a refresher or Aghanims, and it looks like maybe he will actually go for refresher. They need that massive lockdown here, and what better than to get 2 rolls out? Does he have the mana though? It's 375 times 2. I shouldn't try mats on stream. It's not a good idea.
The problem is he has no arcanes on his team, so that's going to be kind of frustrating.
He doesn't have the mana. Yeah, he doesn't have it.
Sorry?
He doesn't have the mana for it. It's going to be 150 short.
He has he has about 90 surplus if he is just going for double roar. But
yeah. I was counting a second. I don't know what I was counting. But yeah, mats on stream, bad idea. But we'll see what happens here. Yao spits that super, breaks the Lincolns, and that's one of the downsides of the Lincolns this game. Yao will just spit away at your Lincolns. And now the homing missile will come. It could be in a very bad spot for him. Xiao A gonna deploy, but no! Here comes Ice once again with the hook. Spoils the director's plans, and Yao is gonna run away from that Spectre, getting purged up. He's still trying to scramble away his Bristleback, not doing too much good. The Raw number 1, refresh number 2. No, not rolling. Oh, dash a Raw number 2. And Hao might fall here, but no. It's gonna be Fenrir swapping him out. He does fall anyway. Super deep in enemy territory. He's gonna lose his life if he's not careful, but as an Aegis, he doesn't have to worry. Hook shot in from Ice, scores a Sylar kill. Ice, dropping very low. He's sacrificing his life at this point. Rubik pokes him from the fountain. Yao running away. Cold feet. The Fusel freezes at the steps. And there, Vici says, alright, enough diving, folks. Time to go for the Rexes. And a TP forward here. Bristleback, aggressive TP coming in with half-life. Not exactly the most clever of ideas. Ice Blast to follow him. And will it land? Here's a question. Oh, a little bit of a bug there with that vision. I thought he was going to fly further, but Silent now getting caught out. This is his buyback life. Is he going to go down again? Glimmer Cape not going to work. Down he goes. Silent to fall. Vici are doing it. They're about to take game 1 in this best of 3 winner bracket. Shout in. How long can you hold? How long? Long enough, it seems, and maybe gonna get purged up because How is shining bright like a diamond with that radiance. Twinkle, twinkle, little
Now he's
star.
by himself.
And,
Everyone
yeah,
wants
1v5, bro.
They're trying to bait him into the fountain and try to go for maybe a
Hit him
force
into the
trap
fountain.
offensively.
Okay. Alright. How? Oh, yeah, he might go down here, but no, never mind. There is still dispersion to think about. There is a lot of life, and this is his buyback life. Oh no, Raw! He could die here. Punch him once, punch him twice, still missing a little bit. The goo comes, and How might fall for the second time without buyback. The Ice Plus will land on MMY, but that's no buyback for 2 minutes. Could this be LGD's time to push? We shall see. They only lost a ranged Rex out of that. That was Vici Gaming throwing their huge advantage and giving LGD maybe some opportunity to take Rex here. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it is only a 1-Rax play in the end. All the fountain diving, all the marching right up into the enemy base, it does cost them significantly. And LGD, they're looking bigger. And now we're actually at a spot where Gyrocopter could consider looking at just farming up the Rapier. At this point, Vici Gaming are not looking to push into the enemy base without the buyback on the Spectre. And that's got a long timer on it. We're looking at 5 minutes until Vici Gaming go for their next push play. Maybe they go for a Roche fight in that time frame, or maybe everybody just waits things out. But the bottom line is Gyrocopter has a little bit of time to work with here where he could actually consider going for the all-in Rapier. If he sells the Ring of Aquila and farms furiously, he might actually have it by the time the Roche respawns. 5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, okay. Well, you gotta get a lot of gold in 5 minutes. 300 GPM. Is that it? No, wait. No, I'm counting it wrong. Never mind. Madsen stream part 2, right? But actually, maybe he's doing very well in that mid Beastmaster. He's 7-1. Looking at that score, it's crazy. Anyone else close? Only How. 10-5, 8-5 on Super. They get a little bit close, but really, maybe has been doing an extremely good job on that Beastmaster role. 7-1 on that mid lane, and now he's gonna port to the middle. He's got his full kit ready. He's popped. He's got his Gemma's True Sight, the Refresher Orb as well. And oh, they're going in. There could be 2 Raws, and it could be game ending here actually. If they raw down Spectre without his buyback, he has no buyback here. So if
He's
they
got the
raw him
refresher
down,
up too.
he's dead.
That is huge.
Yeah.
That refresher is just immense. They're gonna go for the early pipe here. Ice Blast will actually gonna be too early. This actually could be a mistake from FY2. They'll back off for a second. Next creep wave, they can try to look to push in, but they're getting cold feet. They're not certain about this play. It's so committed. Like if you go now, you have I don't know what I can't even give odds to it.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways that they could fail, but there's so many ways. There's a few ways that it could succeed, and I feel like it's their best bet
Yeah,
is to go now.
Without buyback on the Spectre, he has given you the opportunity. No buyback on Spectre. There's a buyback on Super, but he doesn't. Okay, I was about to say he doesn't do a lot of damage, but dataless.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah, he was building up his crit the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, just teasing us a little bit, but now he really hits hard. And well, like you said, waiting for that buyback to come off cooldown could be the biggest mistake of LGD this game. And we really, really want to emphasize how important this best of 3 is if they want to focus on this. It's a 400,000 tournament, iLeague. It's a huge deal, and it's I think one of the last chances for the teams in China to actually play against other Chinese, if I'm not wrong. It's the last big LAN before. Is it? Yeah, it's the last big LAN for Chinese teams, I think, before TI.
It depends on who's in the Mars Dota League.
Okay, yeah, there's Mars.
I haven't seen the Mars TV.
ESL doesn't have Chinese. Does he have Chinese teams?
I think they took him out this season. I forget exactly, but I know they had.
It's one of the biggest ones now, so it's their last chance to test out some strategies, game styles, and everything. So, that's until 6.84D comes out and nerfs Gyrocopter a bit more.
Oh jeez.
But we'll see. It's been a nail biter of a game. I mean, we asked for non-dev volley stuff and we got him.
Yeah, they tried to start it that way, but certainly Vici have turned it on its head, and now it's pretty back and forth here. Lotus Orb coming on the Ancient Apparition. He probably won't use this very often since he needs to keep his distance from the fights. But after you throw your Ice Blast, you BOT in, and then you shift Q the Lotus Orb onto whoever you think is going to be singled out with the Roars. That would be the ideal thing, is if maybe Roars himself, he can't follow up with the second Roar. Otherwise, it's just like casks bouncing and telekinesis and kind of low value spells to reflect.
Yeah, Lotus Orbs are amazing in some games, especially those with Lion. It's pretty cool on this game as well because of the roar, and you can dispel hex if there are any hexes in this game as well. It's a fun fact. Tried it once, amazing. Because hex is not really a stun, it's actually a debuff, so you can actually dispel it for some reason.
Yep, it's very true. So one way they could use it and still keep the Ancient Apparition's range and distance that I was talking about is have Spectre sit next to Ancient Apparition away from the fight, and then she haunts in, and you Lotus Orb right before she realities into it, and she's essentially cannot be roared for those 6 seconds, or Beastmaster roars himself and doesn't get the second one off.
Yeah, it's I think it's a great item in this case. It's a situational item. I personally think it's great on Bounty Hunter, but he's not in this game.
Yeah. I think the big reason why it's stronger than Lincoln Sphere here is because you're up against the Bristleback, and Spectre doesn't have a BKB. So that Viscous Nasal Goo would always take off a Lincoln Sphere, whereas the Lotus Orb, it doesn't care how many times it reflects and it echoes. It doesn't go on cooldown. So we're going to see now, Yao picks up the AC, buys out for this, as he doesn't have buyback for another 20 seconds anyways, and they want to make this fight count. So we'll see a smoke play here, a good flank. Jal just sees the Hawk.
Yeah,
Will they get the initiation? Yao is revealed, and there's the Observer Ward too.
Yeah, alright, here comes Super. The Blink Dagger is ready, he wants it, and now Jal hooks on in. The Force Staff goes down to the ground because of the cock push, and he will stay alive. The pipe has been deployed, so maybe they go for the rush now. Not out yet. Alright, they still have a little bit of a window before that pipe comes off cooldown. It's a big disadvantage for LGD to go in without pipe. And yeah, I think this Lotus Orb is going to work for Spectre. It could be the nail in the coffin here for LGD. If Sylar doesn't take a nice blast to the face, he does not. There's your swap coming in, and a BKB activated. They swap it back in, but now I think the team is ready to respond. LGD Yao, he is going to tank up a lot of the SF's damage. The hook shot is going to be missing completely. That's the raw used onto the clockwork there. He's taking Witch Doctor shots. The machine gun deployed here from Xiao 8. Now going to be missing completely. He's going to be the center of attraction. And Super is going to destroy him from the high ground. Sylar going to TP away. Will he get TP? Yes, he will. Hasten for Super. It's time for cleanup on aisle 3. Is he going in? Yeah, Super is running in. He's looking for the Bristleback. I'm not sure he can kill, but Spectre coming in. The hasted Shadow Fiend going in to slow Yao in position there, walking on the spot, and he's trying to die. Yep, well, he's trying to run. He dies. And well,
yeah, he's down for 100 seconds. He bought out for that fight with the AC. Now they're going to go in, though. Hal and Super in a really bad spot. Comes out on Super, but the Ice Blast the other way. Can Hal clean it up? Going in with the Diffusal Blade, right-clicking on a Gyro, and he will shatter to the Desolate right-clicks. Oh, a huge pickup on the Gyrocopter, but I don't think enough are alive to follow through and force a Gyrocopter buyback. They'll just hold it with the supports. And, I mean, maybe. That's got to be it. I mean, if anything. But I think it's kind of a quick draw of sorts. Shadow Fiend and Gyrocopter have buybacks in reserve. If one buys back, the other immediately buys back, and they go for a big rush fight. Otherwise, we just wait, and 70 seconds will pass.
Oh, well, Bristleback has not been having his game this game. You know, Bristleback really likes to beat at people they can't beat back. I think that's his main method of function. But when someone hits back as hard as he can, he doesn't enjoy it. And well, Hao is certainly one of those heroes that can really destroy him very quickly. And this Roshan will progress a little bit slowly because of the Venge not having a medallion, and Spectre not being a good Roshing hero. But looks like uncontested, this Roshan will remain. LGD, they're thinking about it. There is a lot of disable here on this Beastmaster, the Hex as well. That's four. That's four hard disables, and wow, okay, ice. Well, bring the circus to town is ice. He will secure that. The cheese will go over to him. Well, bringing Hao his farm, so
yeah, exactly.
$6,000 bucks. What will you buy now? Moonshot. Doesn't work on your illusions though.
Refresher Orb is probably still the go-to, but
yeah, Moonshot.
I'm actually surprised he still doesn't have it, to be honest. But did buy out pretty much the Diffusal 2 recipe just to make sure that that was at its maximum stat value, and then the Refresher should be the next pickup, just a little delayed. But even still, I mean, right now, everybody respawns, everybody's back in play, and Gyrocopter, he went for a Talisman of Evasion earlier. And so essentially that 1,800 gold is gold that's not going to go towards a Rapier. Do you think that he finishes the Butterfly, or is it Desperate Rapier time?
It's always Rapier time, man. Depends on what clock you're looking at. Yeah, if you're looking at the ROTK Havos type watches, then well, it's definitely time for Rapier. But I don't think Sila's the Rapier kind of man. It's like, I gotta get my butterfly before Rapier, otherwise I get flamed by my Chinese fans. You know, thrower, 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 and stuff like that. And he'll be featured in the next Chinese comic, so doesn't want to be that. Yeah, he looks like he's going for that butterfly, which is which could be good for him because Spectre doesn't go MKB. So
Yeah, of course. And also, Hex doesn't disable it anymore. That's a big aspect, as the Sheepstick is not muting or breaking effects like the evasion. So he's going to at least be evading with this Talisman. He's going to be saving buyback and deciding after this team fight concludes. But for now, it's a smoke play from Vici, hoping that there will be some bait play on this creep wave, but as it's not, they're going to have to find an alternative angle of attack, and the smoke is wearing thin. Soon will dissipate, and that will be revealing their positions. So, Ajal already revealed. And
Fenrir swaps Yao. This could be big. They swap Yao in. That's a first hit crit here from Super. They're taking a lot of damage in. And Rubik actually swapping the Beastmaster to safety. So, well, saving his buddy there. And we reset. We're going to lose a melee Rex, but at this point, melee Rexes are hardly anything. 60-minute game for our Death Ball meta. Oh, cast going in, and how getting Melodicked it up. That's your raw number 1. There is an Aegis though. He's not afraid of death right now. Loads us up, and we are bouncing. How going down once, and that's Zhao in the middle of everything, the thick of things. He's still getting deployed here. Shao 8 with his machine gun. It's out of bullets though. And now How getting hit by the homing missile. Necro units to go. And are we gonna have a second roll here? No, refresher has been spent. The Wrecking of Souls from the sideline. Super about to throw his life away. He does. He has been jumping in too much to his fights, and he has been picked off over and over. They get a melee Rex, but they lose their Shadow Fiend, their Aegis, as well as their cheese. Shao 8's machine gun, man, has been keeping this team alive. And the director, well, the movie goes on. 61 minutes in, and we're still in this.
Yeah, he's got to get that runtime up. But man, this is LGD just holding well. I mean, even though the Lotus Orb reflected maybe, he hexed himself while hexing the Spectre, it still was enough disable for them to take him down the first time, and for them to just make the second roar happen for the respawn. So in the end, he still gets 2 hexes off. He gets the roars off as he needs to, and yeah, it actually works out really well for them. They will take a pretty big hit here, but the pipe should be deployed just to keep them all running. And I gotta also mention, at this point in the game, Nullfield is maxed out for the Rubik, so it's pretty good value against all these magical nukes. They're holding strong, they're surviving, and all it takes is one good Death Ward. So now we see some push coming in from How on the top lane. Again, level 2 BOTs. He's got a 45-second cooldown to anywhere he wants, really. And we'll see him want to defend in a short time frame as LGD are pushing in.
SF does have buyback. I think that's what they want to force out for this. And,
not gonna happen.
Yeah, Witch Doctor, full duration Death Wards all game. I mean, they started off with the swap, and Ice hooked in already. So Shao 8, patience from Shao 8, always getting that full duration Death Ward over. And with Glimmer Cape as well, it makes it really easy for him.
Yeah, you have to like know his position perfectly and cog knockback, or have the AA close enough for the gem to reveal him, and that's not likely. So yeah, it's really good movement from LGD in these past couple of fights, but they always need more. Every single step, they're still just dragging their feet through the mud here. Sylar, he's got the butterfly. He's like, yeah, butterfly, let's go to the next item. Where is the divine? Where is my buyback gold, for crying out loud? I mean, he bought out for the butterfly, and that's great, but now he's in a territory where one death could cost them the game. So it's just a very fine line to walk, and it's a high tension from both sides.
Well, at least Sylar has now done his job as a traditional carry. He can look at things like Rapier now. We'll see if he does decide to get it. I think it's, well, seeing the damage that Shao 8 can put out.
Yao?
Okay, yeah, Bristleback. He's gonna CP away, so. Forcing out another BKB charge, but at this point it's only 5 seconds, so.
Yeah. They definitely could have canceled that with a blink swap, but they didn't feel like they could actually follow it up with a kill, so. I don't know, they're kind of playing games.
Yeah, could cause some panic. But yeah. A blink on Vengeful Spirit is a big deal. You can shift swap to get a free kind of hook or lasso, if you will, or you can you know, blink forward to swap. You know, it has a lot of practical reasons. And Ice Blast does land on the LGD squad as they smoke up, so they're gonna run in with a little bit of health missing, but I think they're not gonna be put up too much. They're looking for aggression here, but Ice is constantly keeping this pressure on this bottom lane, and they're tracking a long way for this kill. LGD, if they don't find it, they could be wasting a lot of equilibrium time, creep equilibrium.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's
The
pretty
lanes.
obvious, right? Like, I mean, Isis is pushing out here. Manta Illusions are pushing out here on the top lane. It's just like they are not defending their base. They're smoked up, and Vici Gaming just don't get caught. That pickoff had to happen within like 15 seconds of the smoke in order for it to be effective. But instead, Vici retreat, and we look for maybe the next Roshan. Time is taken by 2 minutes until the reveal, and then perhaps 3 minutes more before the Rosh itself. But finally, everybody's level 16 at least. The Venge was kind of trailing behind for a while, but now Fenrir's up there. Everybody's 16 or above. We've got 3 level 25 heroes with Sylar almost there. And net worth count for those maybe tuning in audio only or whatever. It's 30.7k on the Spectre, almost 30k on the Shadow Fiend, and actually the Beastmaster has found 27,000 himself, which is just insane, honestly.
Yeah, it's been quite the game. I expected it to go one way or the other, fail or death ball, get owned by Spectre, but right now it's still keeping us at 65 minutes. And do you think some items need to be sold now? You know, swap some items out. You know, any of the heroes that should actually consider a change and stuff. Is Necro still relevant at this stage? You want to swap it out for something else? Go for some damage, Abyssal Blade maybe. I mean, 4 disables ain't enough, so might as well go for 6.
The Beastmaster could go for a Lincoln Sphere so he doesn't hex himself or roar himself. If he has a
Does it
Lincoln
work that
Sphere,
way? Okay.
yeah. If you essentially the spell, it works as if the Spectre casts the spell back
Okay.
at the Beastmaster, so he can Lincoln's his own roar or Lincoln's his own hex, and I think that would be a good way for him to keep active in the fight.
The 5,000 gold on the Shadow Fiend, and really nothing much to buy but the Moonshot and Boost of Travels too. I think the Moonshot would be great for him if he does decide to buy it now, but needs to save for that buyback gold. I think at this point it can be anyone's game. Initially it was LGD lacking damage, but at this point in the game not so much. Vici, they could be caught out here. Sylar! Okay, he needs to BKB up. No! He'll swap into Hex, and Sylar immediately taken out of the fight. And there we go. Hook shot in on 3. Cogs in all the enemy team. And LGD are gonna fall like flies as the Requiem gets unwound. 3 heroes lost. Shell 8 doesn't get to deploy his guns this time round. Fenrir, the king of the match, he swaps in with that instant Hex here from FY. Will secure that gyro kill, and it's just a case of bad positioning. Does he have buyback? Yes, he does. Gyrocopter. Rubik, no buyback though. They will not have a Rubik this game, and neither will they have Witch Doctor. It's not 3v5. It could be over. Oh no.
That was actually a hell of a combo from Fenrir and FY too. The swap was perfectly timed up with the
Precast,
Hex. He
yeah.
precast the Hex until he jumped in range, and suddenly there's no chance to BKB. Just really good jump, very smooth. Ice pens them all in, and they just knock him down. A good BKB TP from Yao to get out of it, but in the end, they just can't hold without exhausting so much more. 2 buybacks gone, still losing the tier 3, and even if they walk away with that, they're happy.
Yeah, I mean it's a slow death at this point. They need to cheese to the rapier, but with that buyback, the rapier is gonna be even further away now. And one more death will seal this game. Gyrocopter, his flag cannons. I think that's one of his biggest downsides in the late game. He only has 6 shots to make things count, and after that, he doesn't have any more. Looks like SF is gonna partake in Bristleback's disgusting habits, start spitting at each other. And the swap is ready, and there we go, another pre-swap! Sylar in a lot of trouble, cold feet as well! They are gonna land him, Glimmer Cape will keep him alive for now. He goes for the BKB, he's gonna retreat, but he's frostbitten up, he could die here. Now, Xiao 8 deploys his Death Ward. Is he gonna get a lot of damage in? He will not this time round, and maybe gets destroyed by Hao. And Yao stands his ground, tries to face his back, but the haunt is everywhere. The slow come out from the SF, he will survive for now. The Hex onto Zhao, he will stay alive, but at this point, I'm not sure LGD can hold. They have the Gyrocopter, they have their 3 cores, but their support lineup has been demolished. And Vici take 2 sides of Rex. There we go, Raw onto Yao. Raw onto Zhao here, and the rockets will come. Yao gonna take a lot of damage here onto Clockwork. Hao gonna hex up onto Sylar. Ice Blast will land, and Sylar will fall for the last time this game. And Requiem of Souls will be that final nail in the coffin. Yao freezes in place there, unable to get FY on that final run for his team. And well, now Vici will score game number 1 for himself. 68 minutes in.
Wow. I mean, and it goes just suddenly the net worth shifts into a full overdrive for Vici Gaming. 30,000, they take it away. Man, those last couple of plays. I mean, to deal with a blink swap and max
Yeah.
range because Avenge is 16, and an instant hex from the Ancient Apparition. Like LGD, really, people will flame Siler and be like, "Oh man, he got picked off so many times." That's like two and
Impossible.
a half screens of initiation. Like they're just like,
It's better than
bam, and
thanking.
suddenly you're hexed, and there's nothing you can do. There's no response. There's nobody to force staff you out and like purge you and all this stuff. It's just you're a pig, and then you're dead, and it's just so painful.
And
But
Ice
at the
Blast
same
makes
time,
sure you cannot heal from that. So
yeah.
it's just
Yeah, it was amazing
it's
he
just
survived
perfect.
even the first time. He survived with 300 HP in his own fountain, just narrowly surviving with the Glimmer Cape. But in the end, it's just not enough. Vici Gaming, they use their scaling, they use that late game Spectre pick, and
Hmm.
they execute very well these past 10 to 15 minutes to cinch the win in game one.
And yet it was bloody close. I mean, this is one of the first few games I've casted since the new version that has really shown a really close match. Both support lineups doing their absolute damnest to keep themselves in the game, and the decision making from LGD as well as Vici, from that early Roshan fight, Ice like stealing it to that early game team fight avoiding. That LGD have been doing before getting that BKB. It's all those things that really add up to a fantastic 68-minute game here. And Vici, after a long drawn fight, they will win with Spectre, but I would say barely.
Yeah, it was close, and I'm excited to see what Zhao 8 brings to game two. If it was this close for game one, I'm sure he's got some tricks up his sleeve to even the odds here up against Vici Gaming and try to take it 3 games.
Alright, we are going to be a little bit behind schedule now, I think, with that long game. So we're going to hop into game number 2, guys. I'm Lysander, this is Blaze Casting. Joining me in this broadcast, it's been a pleasure. Would not have been the same without a friend here with me. So we're going to be going into game number 2. Hopefully it'll be just as exciting. And winner will proceed to the grand finals. Will LGD bring it back 1-1, or will VG Gaming cruise on 2-0 to day 4 of the iLeague Season 3? Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Much love and Kappa.